morning, good afternoon, good evening to all my wonderful and beautiful little subscribers out there. And how I love you all so, and I hope that you're all super duper well, super duper wonderful, and super duper delicious. And that life is treating you most deliciously. Right now then, I found some larks, my delicious little babies cat. So I knew I had some somewhere, you know. I really did. Oh, we got quite a lot here, my delicious little babies. What we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. We've got about 20 larks, my delicious babies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah, 20. Just needed a recount. Okay, my delicious babies. So look at this. These are very heavy, you know. They're very heavy, my delicious babies. What's the time, Mr. Wolf? So the time is nearly 20 to 2 in our old afternoon in our old England Brummyland, my delicious little babies. Yeah, nearly 20 to 2 in the afternoon, and it is the 19th of February 2026, my delicious babies. Yeah, so I was breaking down. Oh, sorry. And I hope that wherever you are in the world, that life is treating you most deliciously. Very grey sky, very cold, very wet. It's been peeing down for most of the night, I should imagine, my delicious babies, because I was with butterflies and fairies for most of that. Okay, and yeah, that's the weather forecast. So I hope that wherever you are in the world, that the weather's better wherever you are. Okay, never mind, we're still alive. We're still alive. Okay, my delicious babies. You know, you've got quite a few handles here, haven't you, my delicious babies? First of all, let me talk about this. So these larks here, my delicious babies, they're really, really large. Okay, as you can see, they're really, really super duper 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 large. You see, my delicious babies, okay? So we got to keep shining that light, shining that light, shining that light, my little honey bunnies, okay? Now then, so yeah, so I was just trying to change the batteries now. I had Duracell, you know, to last longer. And so the batteries were in here, okay, my delicious babies. So what I then had to do was try and change them round so that they would be brighter, because we like a little bit of ice bright, don't we, my delicious babies? Ice, ice, baby. Doom, 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 doom. Okay. But what was happening was, my delicious babies, is that, see, I bought, just before the fair at Crimbo, I bought some Kodak. Okay, my delicious babies. Now, what happened was, so I bought these and I give for, no, what happened? Oh, yeah, that was it. So my beautiful dear little neighbour and friend up the road, bless her, as one of the fake Crimbo gifts, because, you know, it's fake, you know, Crimbo. Okay, my delicious little babies, but, you know, little beautiful babies, you know, they love Crimbo, don't they? And so this was all about, you know, getting a, you know, like a little screwdriver, you know, to open up this little till. Okay, my little babies that my beautiful dear little neighbour and friend had bought for her beautiful little baby daughter, beautiful little toddler daughter. Anyway, so she bought some Kodak. Okay, my delicious little babies. Okay, these were going for a squid. Ka-ching, ching, ching. One squid. Okay, and she had 8 of them and they never worked, because I tried it, my delicious little babies, you know what I mean? So I said, hold on a minute. I said, let me run down the road. I said, let me go and get, you know, some out of my 8. So I brought 4 up. Okay, my delicious little babies. So I put these in and it worked. But her Kodak never worked. But mine did. Do you see what I mean, my delicious little babies? So what's the point I'm making? So if we look at my beautiful little lights, because we're not going to forget about them, we've got to keep shining that light, shining that light, shining those lights. Okay, so we're still on to there. So I thought, well, let's take out the Duracell from here and let's put them in this one. Ice, ice, baby. Doom, 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 doom. And, well, what happened? These wouldn't fit properly into here, which is very strange because when I looked at the two batteries that were originally... Oh, they've gone off. Oh, are we having a party? Seems so, you know. Keep switching the lamp on and off directly opposite my flat, my delicious little babies, so they must be having a party. Anyway, my delicious babies, I'll come back on in a minute. Anyway, so what happened? So I tried these in here, and it was just having none of it. There we are. So I thought, okay, well, what am I going to do? So I looked through my box, my plastic box. Okay, my delicious little baby's one of them because I've got two. And I thought, I'm going to have to try the Kurdak. As soon as I tried the Kurdak, they were slightly smaller. So what does that tell myself, my delicious little babies? What it tells myself is that these are only temporary, by the way, my delicious babies, you know. Ice, ice, baby. Ding, 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 ding. Okay. What is it that I'm saying, my delicious little babies? So these Duracell seem to be just a tiny bit larger than these. That's what it tells myself, my delicious little babies. But if you look at Kurdak, well, Kurdak's been around, there we are, for a very long time. You know, take a look at some of my old photographs. They were Kurdak. You just click, wait, and then the picture comes out. The photograph, my delicious little babies, there we are. Yes. Anyway, probably sounds like I've just rambled on about that, but, you know, take from it as what you will. Now then, my delicious little babies, please and thank you. And to anybody who's so very kind to put a like, to even view my videos, or the occasional comment, thank you. Thank you, you know, for your kindness. Okay, my delicious little babies, at least I know there we are, somebody's seeing and someone's hearing. Okay, my delicious little babies. I notice that on some channels they do this, don't they? My delicious little babies, they do that. There we are. Seems to be more and more, it seems. Okay, my delicious babies. Now then, what do I need to say just before I give out my video? Right, well, so this morning, fair enough, because I've got a plastic drain outside in my garden, my delicious babies, and that is for, you know, the sink in the kitchen. And then the bathroom outside my front door at the side, that seems to have, is it a cast iron or something like that? It's like a cast iron. Okay, my delicious babies, well, there we are. Well, what lot? Rewind and start again. Stumbling here. What lasts longer? Is it iron or is it plastic? Just a question, my delicious little babies. Food for thought. Food for thought. Okay, my delicious little babies. So I went to go and put my bin out today for our lovely bin men and bin ladies. Okay. Bless their beautiful dear little souls. Not in that way, but we're very thankful to be able to have our bins emptied. And what did I see? Somebody had pulled out the plastic parts of, you know, like where when you're doing washing up, my delicious little babies, and it goes down the pipes, round the bend, down the pipe, and then into the hole in the floor, my delicious little babies, you know, which of course then goes through to more pipes, and then into the sewer, I should imagine, my delicious little babies. Well, anyway, mind you, it was due for a clean, because I probably clean that about 4 or 5 times a year, my delicious little babies, that one and the one at the bathroom, because this is my department, you see, upstairs. my beautiful dear little family, this is not their department, even though they're upstairs, okay? It is up to myself to clean these drains. My delicious little babies. Well, anyway, so I went outside and I thought, oh yeah. I thought, well, it's not the little foxes, is it? My delicious little babies. Somebody's pulled out the plastic. I thought, well, you've done me a job. Because all I've got to do is get me yellow marigolds. You know, marigolds. My delicious little babies. And just clean it, you know, put it in a little poo-poo bag. And then dispose of it, my delicious babies. So whoever you are, you get a brownie point. I'm not talking to you, my delicious little babies, you know what I mean? Because you've actually saved me a job. Because it takes quite a while to get that bit of plastic out, you know what I mean? Unless you've got the know-how. You know what I mean, my delicious little babies? Yes. So what could we say that this is all about? Okay, could we say that this could be to do with the fact that I was talking about that the little spas, you know, the spas, have been putting more holes? But could we also say that this is to do with the fact that I was talking about her over the back? Okay, my delicious little babies, and when I was walking out my beautiful, delicious little Ruby Tuesday, because my beautiful, delicious little Maisie Moo can walk herself, although sometimes she walks around with us, okay? I'm not taking it back. No, I'm not. I'm not going to feel bad about it, okay? So if somebody's trying to scare me or whatever they're doing, why don't you F off nicely? Get on your back, pedal fast, and F right effing off. You know who, there we are, you know who I'm talking to, right? At the end of the day, I've got every right in my own home, there we are, to say what I want to say. I do not walk the streets and roads causing trouble now on others. Okay, it is others who choose to cut their flipping eyes at myself, give me dirty looks in my own country that I was born in. Right, and then say to myself, oh, don't let your little, your animal or whatever she wanted, do you know what I mean? What she said. Anyway, the fact of the matter is, not to do that. Well, I'm going to defend, there we are, my little baby. Okay? I will always say hello. They say hello to myself. I say hello to themselves. But like I said before, and I repeat it again, if I never nip it in the bud, then it then comes to the stage where, oh, you know, could you walk that side? No. So whoever you are, there we are, and whoever's doing this, why don't you F off nicely, or do a better thing, there we are, and come and knock on my front door. There we are. Come and knock on my front door and come and discuss the matter, isn't it? I'm not talking to you, my delicious little babies, you know what I mean? But if you were in my position, which I wouldn't wish any of you to be in, I've got my bathroom that's been sparred on. I've got my home that's been sparred on, right? They've probably got the bugs outside, I'd say. Okay, my delicious little babies, it's everywhere, okay? That wherever you walk, there's spars everywhere. Oh, and that reminds me of something else, my delicious little babies, so they can F off nicely as well. There we are. I hope they're getting paid good. Ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. You know, all of these. Her, there we are, and the rest of them. Is there another Ukrainian one? Yeah, now I'm saying it in my camera. Seen her the one that, didn't I? When I was out walking my beautiful little Ruby Tuesday, I never recognised her at first. And as she was walking past, she went like that to me. I didn't recognise her. I said, oh, I said, hello, good evening. She went, oh, good evening. But then she stood, and then it just so happened, of course, when I was walking back, that she happened to be walking back the opposite side of the road. Do you see what I'm saying, right? So don't take me for a damn fool. Nobody likes that word fool, but don't take me for one. Never. Right? So you're doing this now with the drain bit, okay? So whoever had done this, okay, because it needs mankind to remove that, okay? So at the end of the day, while you were there, why didn't you use a flipping outdoor tap and wash me effing flipping drain plastic part, isn't it? While you were there. Doesn't matter because I'll do it in a bit. The fact of the matter is, my delicious babies, there we are. I have been going through this, there we are, long time. Okay? And if anybody wants any information, because I'm sure they do. Yeah, so I went down a shop today. I seen somebody, was it Honda? Yeah. So if that's what you want, there we are. Then you got what you want, Honda. Okay? Anyway, I was looking at Nissan and Datsun myself. Do you know what I mean? I could say something else, there we are, that came into my noddle from when I was a wee young lass. But I'm going to leave it there. I could say a lot more. Okay. So I'm not talking to you once again, my delicious little babies, you know what I mean? But this is the effery that they, there we are, the effery that they do now then. So, oh, it goes down a drain. So dirty water go down a drain. Oh, right, okay. So whoever it is out there now then, right. So you're calling myself dirty? There we are. Why don't you take a damn look at your damn self? There we are, isn't it? Look at your damn self, right? Before you call myself dirty. Okay. So what it is, you feel that I'm dirty with my mouth? So nobody's allowed to say nothing, especially with what's going on in the world. Nobody's allowed to say a damn thing. F off nicely and get on your back and pedal fast, whoever you effing are and whoever you got your effing, there we are, effing spars to do. Because it's not going to wash with myself. I've gone through this for effing years now. If you want to talk about draining, yeah, this is effing draining. Piece of shit, man. There we are. Piece of shit. Whoever you are. Right? I couldn't give a fiddler's F what you want to do in your life. Do what the effing hell you want to do. But don't go around troubling myself or troubling anybody else. If you've got your little spars, there we are, which you clearly have, and Chinese and English and all of them now. And that's what I wanted to say, my delicious baby. So I'm out walking my beautiful, delicious little Ruby Tuesday, because my beautiful, delicious little Ruby, Mays Moo can walk south, sorry. I'm walking round, and it's all in the dark, my delicious little babies. There we are. This is how these operate, isn't it? They operate in the dark, isn't it? So they cannot do it in the light, no? So, yeah. And there's a flat that was, I never seen no movement. It was empty. Okay, anyway, they were bringing a few things out. I said, oh, I said, so does anybody live there? Somebody moving out? Because I like to ask. I live on the road. I've got every right. Some would say, well, you got no right at all. No. Go back decades ago, my delicious babies. Everybody knew who everybody was. If somebody moved in the road, and I remember it, and I'm 52, and that's not old, right? If somebody moved in the road, there we are. We found out who they were, where they came from. Do you know what I mean? So if you sound like the old Bill and you ask a flipping ton questions, there we are. Then we were just done doing it. Because we wanted to know who our neighbours were going to be. There we are. And I remember that very well. So I felt nowhere. I do not feel anywhere. If I see somebody moving in, I want to know who they are. Where they come from. Because they're sneaking ones, there we are, on our roads and everywhere else now then. And I'm not the only one talking about this, okay? So when one see me in my camera now, my delicious babies, right, I do really feel that ones are not getting, there we are, the correct picture here. Because it's not just myself saying it, isn't it? So it makes it look like every time I come on my camera, oh, she's a nutty woman. Oh, she's this. No. Just look at the four who are effing doing things. There we are, effing doing things now then. And come back and chat to me. Right? So that doesn't scare me. So what are you going to do next? Come on. Roll that dice. Roll that dice. So I said, oh, apparently there was support workers staying there in this flat, getting back to the matter in hand, Mardzlish babies. Well, I never saw. I said, well, I never saw anybody. I think there's only once I've seen someone peep out through the blue blinds. Okay, Mardzlish babies. Well, these flats, Mardzlish babies, okay, are not even supposed to have anything like that. Okay, there we are. And I know this for a fact. Okay, so can you see the changes? Okay, Mardzlish babies, yes. There's something else going on. Something else going on, Mardzlish babies, okay? But if it wasn't for myself, I do not give a damn that somebody thinks I'm nosy. Who gives a figgler's F? Because I quite frankly do not. Couldn't give a damn, man. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, everybody should know that we are who's moving on their road. Simple things. I do not give a damn. And if ones just think that all I do is come in my camera and moan or do whatever, then think what you like, get off my channel. Get on your back and pedal fast, because your services are certainly not required. Okay. Somebody, there we are, needs to be keeping an eye, there we are, on who's moving on to the road. And for ones that are rather suspicious, could be any road in Brummyland or in any city. If something is suspicious, there we are, then we should know about it. There we are. Simple things. They shouldn't just sneak them in. Okay, Mardzlish babies, there we are, because this is what's been happening. Okay, and others, there we are noticing. Okay, I only have to walk out into the road now, wherever I walk, okay? There's always going to be somebody, whether, put it this way, they're noticing as well. I'll repeat that again. So anyway, Mardzlish babies, so I'm just going to speed through this now. So, right, there's a bit of a mixture going on. Let's get the beautiful parts out of the way first. So this is on YouTube, Mardzlish babies. There we are. I always do this for a reason, okay? So whether really very little listen to my video or not, I'm pretty sure that there we are. There'll be many watching the subtitles, weren't there? There we are, Mardzlish babies. That's good. There we are, because I want everybody, there we are, to get where I'm coming from. So this upload happens to have 3.9 thousand subscribers, Mardzlish babies, okay? And the uploader, they're all on YouTube, Mardzlish babies, is called capital T, the space, capital B, bark, as in woof woof, and then space, capital S, sad. So it should read spaces, the bark, sad. Okay, Mardzlish babies. Now, the video should read, and this is just over 3 minutes long, this tiny horse's reaction to golden retrievers will melt your heart. Okay, Mardzlish babies, I'm just going to repeat that again for you, shall I? This tiny horse's reaction to golden retrievers will melt your heart. Okay, Mardzlish babies, that's the first one. Beautiful little horse, little dwarf horse, okay, called Toby. When I looked it up on a DuckDuckGo, okay, quack, quack, okay, go. It's Hebrew. Okay, Mardzlish babies, now then the next one. Because there we are, look into things, Mardzlish babies, yes. The next one, this uploader happens to have 171,000 subscribers, Mardzlish babies. There are actually 2 videos on here I'd like you to look at. One that's really recent, okay, a couple of days something. The other one that's a few weeks ago. Was it 2 or 3 weeks ago? So this uploader is called capital T, tail. Yeah, there we are. There's many who are, there we are, on somebody's tails. Isn't there, Mardzlish babies? There we are. Yes. Space friends, capital F friends. So it should read, once tapped into the space bar on YouTube, should anybody happen to have any form of an interest, tail, space friends. It's 171,000 subscribers, okay? And the video should read, this is just over 8 minutes long, Mardzlish babies. Rescue piglet. Oh, you should see how tiny, tiny little baby. Okay. Lost her mama. And a poor, beautiful, dwarfy horse, okay. Lost her mama. then something amazing happened. Okay, my delicious babies. So I'm just going to read this out to you again. Rescue piglet lost her mama, then something amazing happened. Okay, my delicious babies. The other video, and by the way, this dear woman now named this little baby piglet Anakin. And something said to myself once again, said, look on, quack, quack. Duck, duck, go, my delicious babies. Is it Star Wars or biblical? Okay, my delicious babies. And the other one is called Peabody, but I never looked on that. So I'm pretty sure while you're on quack, quack, go. There we are. You'll be able to work it out, please. And thank you, my delicious babies. Now then. So, and that's so beautiful. The little piglet, yeah. Beautiful little piglet. So sweet. Okay. Now then, the next one, my delicious babies, okay. This one here, oh, this is so beautiful as well, okay. It's very important. You see, it doesn't appear that what I'm doing is very important. There we are, but it actually is. There we are. If you really take a listen, there we are, to what I'm giving out. Okay, my delicious babies, please and thank you. This uploader is called Plumes. So it's a capital. Yeah, there's plenty of plumes, isn't there? You know. Isn't there, my delicious babies? Capital P, I'll spell it for you, Lumes, Plumes. That's the uploader, my delicious babies. Happens to have 373,000 subscribers, my delicious babies. The video should read, this is about, what's this, about 15 minutes long or something. It's not long, my delicious babies. None of the videos are long today, okay? Singing for animals. Now, for some of you, my delicious babies, you may have seen this. Others of you may not. But I've been looking at this. Not in that way, not in that way. And by the way, not in that way, not in that way with anyone. I've been looking at this deer uploader. There we are, on and off for a long time. Okay, it's just I've never because I've been too engrossed in giving out videos. I've never. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, I am today. Singing for animals compilation. Gosh, that's a large word. I feel like I've swallowed dictionary, my delicious babies. Sorry, a large word. Okay, I'll just repeat that again. Singing for animals compilation. Yes, my delicious babies, yeah. Okay, what's the point to what I'm saying here other than what I'm wanting ones to get what I'm saying? This is how I truly believe, there we are, the world was actually meant to be. There we are. Okay, my delicious babies, but unfortunately, when you have the wrong ones in charge, one's found that we found ourselves, there we are, in there we are, many difficulties. Okay, my delicious babies. However, just like mathematics, there we are, to every problem, there we are, there is a solution. Okay. There's a point to everything I do, okay? But once again, you know, YouTube does not feel that my videos are worthy enough. Maybe if I jumped from a car park and hopefully never hit the ground with the concrete, okay, maybe I would get some views. Okay, my delicious little babies. And by the way, that is nothing against anybody who very sadly has taken their lives, or somebody who very sadly has maybe done a stunt and it has gone wrong. There we are. Okay, my delicious babies, I did not mean it that way. Okay, I'm just saying. It seems to myself that YouTube lacks the more daring, you know, say if ones jump off a rocky, whatever it is, you know what I mean, and usually they're very sadly, they do not have a very nice landing, okay? YouTube seems to love those, millions of views. Okay, my delicious babies, now then, last two. So this next one here, I haven't seen these before anyway. They're all going to be one-offs that I'm giving out today, my delicious babies. This one here, this uploader happens to have 71,600 subscribers. Now, for some alternative media, you would have seen this uploader, but for myself, I haven't, okay? Maybe there could be sticks of wood involved somewhere as well, my delicious babies. Rather a long stick there, isn't there, my delicious babies? Anyway. Not to do with the uploader. There we are. I'm just maybe I'm just there we are, overrunning my tail. Old-fashioned Irish saying. Now then, my delicious babies, this uploader is called Capital P, as in Peter, capital J, as in Jesus. Okay, so it's capital PJ, then space, capital T, then space, capital B, Belt, or we could say Bells, you know, we are, that they decided, there we are, to destroy, along with, very sadly, many mankind. Okay, my delicious babies, going back many decades ago. Okay. Now then, my delicious babies, I'll just repeat that again. The uploader is called PJ, all spaces, the Belt. Okay? Yeah, I've seen a belt down the road, you know, ones leave a little bit of a belt. You know what I mean, my delicious babies? You know that you tie around your waist. Okay. Anyway, my delicious babies, the video should read, I think this is the longest one. Is it about 26 minutes or something, or 25 minutes something? Alberta Patriots report armed Chinese guards in oil. Okay, my delicious babies, I'm just going to repeat that again for you. Alberta Patriots report armed Chinese guards in oil. In oil patch. Sorry, my delicious babies, in oil patch. Yeah. Okay, my delicious babies. Well, I mean, come on. We've known long time that there's been, I've talked about it months ago to do with the Chinese, China, to do with the old bill stations and, you know, and different things like this now then, you know, in our old England and, you know, in other cities and places, my delicious babies. You see, the fact of the matter is, who is running the Chinese? China, because it's certainly not China, okay? But I'm going to get back to this again, just the same as our country and any other country. There we are. These little men and women in little suits, there we are, know what they're doing. There we are. So they know right from wrong. There we are. They know right from wrong. So when everybody's saying, oh, it's this, that, and the other, right? Because someone may say, oh, you know, you're just having a pop at China. No, I'm not. I'm just pointing things. There we are. Simple things out. There we are. Okay. And then, of course, they're used then, okay, as a way of to say, oh, you know, this and that and the other, right? Okay. When one, there we are, is doing all this. So who is benefiting? Okay. We get back to it again, don't we, my delicious babies? There we are. Simple things. Okay. Anyway, well worth a little listen to this, my delicious babies. Should anybody have any form of an interest, ones can, you know, I don't know, maybe share their thoughts, maybe if they look at other channels, maybe. There we are, do you know what I mean? To draw their own conclusions. Anyway, finally, and then I'm going to be over and out. This uploader happens to have 107,000 subscribers, my delicious little babies, okay? And is that the correct one? No. Oh, it could be that one. Hobby coding. No. The one with 3 weeks ago, which is Anakin. Okay, my delicious babies, you know, to do the little piglet. I think I put that in the wrong place. It should be here. Hobby coding. I think it's that one. Hobby. No, it isn't. It's got to be back up there. Okay, my delicious babies. I don't know. Some things there we are throwing me today, my delicious babies. Not literally. Okay, my delicious babies. So, and this is called capital H, the uploader, hobby, as in hobbycraft, space, capital C, coding. Okay, so with spaces in the old space bar, should anybody happen to have any form of an interest, hobby coding. Okay, my delicious babies. And the video should read 4 robots. This is just over 13 minutes long, I think, this one, I feel. I'll repeat again. 4 robots ended 19 scientists in Japan. Although the woman there now then who's speaking was talking about 29. Okay, Matt, it's just interesting with the numbers, isn't it? Okay, no, 19. And then, of course, you know, you had, you know, to do with 29, which comes, you know, we have to look at the numbers that they like to use, my delicious babies, you know, like 11. Okay, my delicious babies, so I'm just going to repeat this again for you. 4 robots ended 19 scientists in Japan. Now, let's close my book, and we need to go back to where we need to go back to. So let's have a quick discuss, and then I'm going to be once again over and out. So what is it that I'm saying, my delicious little babies? Okay, so what it is that I'm talking about here, this woman here, she's going back to 2017 and 2018, my delicious little babies, okay? So this video is going back, okay, even though it might say days old, a couple of days old or something, it goes back further. Now, what she's basically saying now, what we need to put aside, because she's clearly a follower of fashion, okay, so she clearly happens to love the Rocket Man. You know, we all know who that is, my delicious babies. EM. So the fact of the matter is, I was going to say Emu then, you know what I mean, my delicious babies. Do you ever remember that puppet, Emu? You know, that man with the fuzzy hair, and then he used to, you know, then little Emu used to talk to him, and sometimes she used to peck his nose. You know that one, my delicious babies. That's going back decades, isn't it, my delicious babies? I cannot think of his name now. I cannot spare a thought. Anyway, you'll know who I'm talking about, my delicious babies. Anyway, so minus all of that, okay, put all that aside. What she's talking about is in Japan, going back again, you had basically the fourth robot. Now, ones can take from this as what they will, okay? I cannot tell anybody. I cannot say whether this is real or whether it isn't, okay? But if I had to say, I would more than likely say there's probably some truth in there was one more, my delicious babies, okay? Completely forgot about that. Yeah, because it was on the previous page. We need to go back right at the bottom. Okay, my delicious babies, completely slipped my mind. Okay, me noddle, my delicious babies. Well, basically, when I listened to it, I thought, well, could it be real? I thought, yeah, part of it could be, yes. There we are, would say so. Okay. And this is when I listened to it, my delicious babies. When did I listen to it? Was it a couple of days ago? Now, well, I don't know. For some of you, my delicious, I won't say most. For some of you, you probably would have heard about this in the alternative media. For myself, I never heard about this particular reality, it seems. Okay. So, the point is that what she's talking about, and apparently she had her sources, mind you, she did talk about what's it called, New York Times. Anyway, I don't know what she's rambling on about, but the point is, my ears just went ping, you know, when I was listening about the robots. But it appears that the final robot sort of put itself back together. Okay, my delicious babies. Anyway, please make of it as what you will. But do I believe that this is just a story? No, I do not. I believe there we are. There's a lot more to this story. There we are. The meets here are. My delicious babies, yes. That's just my thoughts. Somebody else could say, well, you know, you believe bullshit, Carla. Well, maybe so. But no. If you're just going to dismiss it, then you're not going to, there we are, look deeper into it. Are you, my delicious babies, finally? This is the one, hobby coding. There we are. Got a little bit confused with the other one, you know, with Anakin. Now then, my delicious little babies, it was Anakin, wasn't it? Turn over the page. Yeah. Okay, my delicious little babies. Again, 107,000 subscribers. I've already advertised them on the page that was turned over. The grandfather, this is only hours old. I think it's about 6 or 7 hours old now, my delicious babies, when it was uploaded to YouTube. The grandfather of AR, last cry. Okay, my delicious babies. So I'm just going to repeat that again for you. The grandfather of AR, last cry. Could say, couldn't we? No woman, no cry. No woman, no cry. Poor Bob Marley, bless him. Not in that way, not in that way, yeah. I mean, you look at that, don't you? Bob Marley, Bruce Lee, you know, bless him, and, you know, not in that way, not in that way, you know, lots of, you know, one way or another, you know, when one's sort of, you know, no too much. Our lovely, there we are, Michael Jackson, you know, bless him, not in that way, not in that way, but all these, you know, it's just so sad, isn't it, really, how their lives just end, you know. Anyway, my delicious little babies, what this one's talking about is basically that AI can be used for the very good. Again, I think this is about 13 minutes long and just over. But of course, it's also can be set to kill us. Okay, my delicious little babies. Well, you see, again, it's like, there we are, mathematics, okay? We have to remember that man, there we are, created AI. Okay, they built machines, they built all of these things now, okay? Now, if each and every one of us, my delicious little babies, okay, we're not saying that there is not a concern here. However, there we are, I always see it as to every problem, mathematics is a solution. So, if each and every one of us, yes, it will be a massive task. I'm not going to deny that, my delicious little babies. No, I am not, okay? It'd be a huge, colossal task, gigantic, in fact. But if every single one of us just disengaged, gosh, that's a large word, isn't it, my delicious little babies? Okay, disengaged, I just got in my noddle, ourselves from all of our appliances. That includes myself, everybody, okay? My delicious little babies, and we all did the same thing now then. So how could AI actually work? And if we went back to a bartering, there we are, which I keep talking about, a bartering system, there we are. My delicious little babies. Okay, even though ones may laugh at myself, I really couldn't give a fiddler's F. But if everybody, there we are, just did that, okay, and went back to doing everything naturally, well, this can only function, ding, ding, dong, dong, if it's fed. Ungawa, feed me now, feed me now. Do you see what I mean, my delicious little babies? Okay, so yeah. Some may see it like that doesn't mean no. Some may see it like I'm just, you know, taking the pee or whatever. No. I'm just, there we are, just done saying it the way it is. Yes, we have a reliance, but we still got the lights. Still two remaining. We have a reliance on, you know, this technology, but at the same time, there we are, there is a way around it. Now, some would say, well, there isn't a way. Well, of course, that's just negative. We have to have, there we are, a positive, there we are, mental attitude, there we are, at all times. Okay, there we are. Whatever they have done, because remember, I'll repeat again, man created this. So where did man come from? So come from a woman and a man, isn't it? But came from a, you know, to give birth, okay? Because I'm pretty sure, there we are, going back decades ago, that it would have been a natural birth, wouldn't it? I would have thought. If you're looking at who's running the world, I'm looking at ding, ding, dong, dong, common sense. Do you see what I mean? Okay, so they would have come from woman, isn't it? But obviously, you know, there we are, ear buzzing. That doesn't mean that I'm mentally impaired, and that's nothing against anybody who has any illness, okay? The fact of the matter is that they simple things, they come from a woman, isn't it? But of course, you know, the man and woman would have to get together to produce baby. Do you see what I'm saying? Okay, so it's these that have done all of these things now in X amount of decades. Do you see what I'm saying? But it come from man, isn't it? But of course, then you have the twats who are helping to build it, and nobody can tell myself that they never knew what they were doing. Okay, and apparently your man here now, he got a Nobel Prize. Well, one's only getting a Nobel Prize when they F the world, there we are, F the world up, my delicious little babies. You know what I mean? That's how they get a Nobel Prize, my delicious little babies. It's either that or if you're a dirty little paedophile, you know, a dirty little psychopath. You seem to get all the Nobel Prizes going, my delicious little babies. Do you follow me? Yes. So that's what I'm saying. So this can be, you know, turned around. I've got two different sets of lights, but there we are. We can turn it all around. You know what I mean? And I'm not turning out my lights because the light's gone out. On the contrary, quite the opposite. Okay? So that's the end of my video. So wherever you are in the world, whether it's morning, afternoon, or evening, please have a super duper delicious time. You only get one life, my little honey bunnies. Sending peace, love, harmony, and bright blessings to each and every one of you. May your beautiful little selves, your beautiful little families, may you all be fully protected. There we are, and how I love you so. But yes, you know, we have so many, there we are, opportunities. There we are, okay. Because the train is coming down a track. Okay, that's what is drummed into our noddles. That's what, there we are, they want drummed into our noddles. Okay. But if we just turn around and said, okay, there we are, let's, you know, get our noddles together, find another solution. I found a solution. Just take out everything that's, you know, let it all pile up. Yes, I know it's going to be very, you know, even for myself, I do videos on here. I look through videos, you know, to see what I'm going to advertise. There we are, as a hobby. You know, we use the dog and bones, and we, do you know what I mean, to make calls or send messages or whatever, to receive messages or to receive calls. But the fact of the matter is, and ones will use it for their work. But if we went back to good old fashioned handwriting, you know, and use our beautiful paper, there we are, for what it was really meant for, which is to write everything down instead of everything, you know, from you know, a computer. Okay, there's another video that I wanted to flipping tell you about as well, my delicious little babies. This is a computer that, when was it from? 1988, this one. Just trying to remember, was it 1988? And it was at Amstrad. Where was it now? Was it in Stockport? Oh, got to find it on my videos. That's what I wanted to write down, my babies. And the cleaner, you know, the cleaners, the hygienists who are doing the offices. There's this one computer that seemed to have a mind of its own, and even when I went to the plug to see if it was plugged in, it wasn't plugged in. Is it in some kind of museum or something now? I don't know. Anyway, my delicious babies, that's what I wanted to tell you about. I've got to find that video again. Anyway, my delicious babies, and I'll just give some advertisements. There we are. Like I said, I like to do things as a hobby. So you got our lovely, not in that way with anybody, our lovely dear Mal Kay and her dear husband Rob. Okay, there we are. They're fantastic. I love listening to them. Not in that way. Okay, they're now up to 210,000 subscribers on Rumble. So if you just please and thank you to type in, I usually go through quack quack, go, my delicious little babies, duck duck go, mornings, all spaces with Mal Kay. Okay, my delicious little babies, you'll be able to find her recent videos, my delicious little babies. We've also got Fakeologist, capital F, with our dear little Mal. It doesn't matter if you put it in capital or if you put it in, it'll still come the same. Okay, with YouTube, this is now switched back to YouTube. Fakeologist 3. So Fakeologist number 3. Okay, no spaces. Okay, my delicious babies. I think they must be up to about, what was it, 500 and, or is it 800 and, oh, flipping forgot now, my delicious babies. Anyway, I listen to them anyway, my delicious babies anyway. So those are the two advertisements with her videos today, my delicious babies. Oh yeah, and I do see that Gary with one R, capital G, Gary space, capital W, Waterman, on YouTube, my delicious babies, is now up to 5.32 thousand subscribers, my delicious babies. I thoroughly enjoy listening to all of the videos that I'm talking about, the uploaders, my delicious babies, not in that way. I will always listen to who I want to listen to. That will never ever change, okay, because there we are, I'm a grown woman, I'm a big woman, and I can make my own decisions. However, I'm concerned with and concentrating on the information I've been receiving from Companies House in our old England, my delicious babies, okay, that those of you can actually take a look at yourself. However, the thing is with Gary, bless him, not in that way, but bless his dear little soul, he's in a tent, it's very cold for him, okay. he can get the links to who's who and things like this now. Then otherwise, where do you start? Do you see what I mean? Mad delicious babies, but the fact of the matter is, you know, the more information there we are that gets out. I never needed to stumble there. The more information that gets out, there we are. It's the more that we can make positive changes, you know what I mean, to the world. My delicious little babies, okay, because it's quite clear to myself, there we are, which I've known a long time anyway. We've known for decades. Just look at the nasty things they've done to us, okay. At the end of the day, my delicious little babies, they are quite clearly trying to, there we are, to get rid of us all. Okay, my delicious little babies, but they seem to forget, there we are, that they actually need us, okay. So it wouldn't be something like 500 million. What a crock of shart. You know what I mean? My delicious little babies, what it is, they're more concerned and more worried, there we are, of lack of control. Okay, my delicious little babies, there we are, and that is the fact of the matter. Okay, otherwise we wouldn't have all this surveillance and we wouldn't have had all this chat. Okay, so until my next video, sending peace, love, harmony, and bright blessings to each and every one of you. May your beautiful little selves, your beautiful little families, may you all be fully protected. How I love you so. Okay, you just look after yourselves now. Please look after. Please try to take care of others. And until my next video, I must go and have something to eat now. I feel I'm going to have me a leek and potato soup with some beautiful paprika and salt and pepper. There we are. Croutons, homemade. Okay, my delicious little babies, I'm feeling rather peckish. Okay, plenty of leeks out there. Okay, my delicious little babies, take care. Thank you once again for listening. Love ya. Thank you. Goodbye.